Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Just checking in with the April setup in my Budget by Paycheck workbook. So let's just grab our glasses and get right to it. All right. So April's going to be one of those months where I have a lot of expenses. I've got several birthdays and I actually bought a jersey last night. So that was kind of unexpected, but I'm I'm not gonna play buyer's remorse. So I liked it, so that's why I bought it. So I'll have to figure out how I'm going to fit in this into my first half of the month budget because it's usually pretty tight. All right, so the new things I have going on this month are I switched Geico from paying every 6 months to every month, and that's drafting on the 4th. So that'll be the first month. I'm pretty sure that's the correct amount. Sometimes it's hard to tell what they're going to do because yeah, they say the bills they send you are not really very clear, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. And then the gym will pull on the first. That's also new this month, and that should be $43. Again, same thing where you ask for the amount and they don't really give you a straight answer. This month, I do have playoffs that will show up from time to time, starting probably the second week in April. It could run all the way through the end of April. It just depends on how far they make it, and that will be $48 a game. The last 3 years, they played four at-home games. So that gives me an idea of roughly how many $48 charges I'm going to have. But they won't start probably until sometime in this range. So that gives me a little bit of time to at least prepare. Hopefully they'll come in after this, but I expect at least one of them will be here. And we're third in the league, so that means that when the games are played, what happens is the verses, that when you go through the rounds, we get two games in-house and then one game at the other person's because of our standing. We won't it won't switch until we get to the people who are rated above us, and that could be um, the next session or the one after that. It would probably be the next session because it goes pretty quick. I think there are 3 rounds, maybe four. I guess it depends on who's winning and how they're winning, how many rounds they'll go. So that's kind of what that looks like. And I'll just, deal with those as they come. It's only $48, so hopefully it won't be too taxing here at the beginning of the month where things are very tight. And even tighter since I bought that jersey. Oh, what's wrong with me? um, I didn't buy any jerseys this year. I did buy a blanket, but I didn't buy any jerseys, so I felt really good about it. And then I saw that jersey and I'm like, yeah, I really want that. And I said, do you have any in my size? And I knew the guy up at the register, and he says, yeah, we've got it. And he actually gave me a 25% discount, so I spent less than I would normally have. So anyway, um, enough on that. The month is going to be pretty similar to all months as with respect to just my regular bills. Again, things have changed a little bit because the season tickets are in there now. The Geico is in there now. And then, of course, the rec center is there as well. I do have an optometrist appointment, but I've been preparing for that, and I have about $800 that I will have to purchase glasses and then pay whatever the copay is for the visit. I don't know how much the glasses are going to be. I'm hoping they're going to be under 500, in which case I'm going to leave the remainder in the sinking funds because I will need it for other health expenses that will be cropping up over the next year or so. So again, everything's looking good. My gas keeps flip-flopping between this month and next month. It's just really unfortunate that it's at the end of the month. So I don't think it's going to be on the on this because there's no such thing as whatever that is. I'm going to move it back here. I think, but it may come out on the first. I don't know. This it's just kind of been fluctuating between the months, and I paid for gas out of this paycheck, which really amounts to all of this right here. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. And this one, it has been coming out late too. It's actually posting this weekend, but I'm putting it towards last month. So I've had to do some finagling with these bills that are at the end of the month, just because they're just all wonky on when they actually post and come out of my account. The other thing that I have a bill due for $2,004 on the 24th, and that's for a beach rental. So again, I have the amount in the account, so it should be good to go. Let's now go into what I've set up for the I guess the first 2 week paycheck period. I will be pulling from savings for the birthday expense and for the optometrist. I'm estimating that's going to be 575. 75 will come for birthdays and 500 from the healthcare sinking funds, which will hopefully cover the amount of money that I will be paying to get my new glasses and get an eye exam. I do have $93 coming forward, and I mentioned in the last video that Canva charged me for a yearly subscription, and I emailed them and asked if they could refund that because I did not intend to do it. And they're refunding me now, so I expect a refund of $120 to clear within the next few days. My normal fixed expenses are here. The rec center is new and Geico is new. So these two right here are new for the month. Everything else is what I have normally budgeted for. And again, the beginning of the month is always really kind of overloaded with respect to my fixed expenses. And I was hoping I could get the rec center to um, have this be posted in the middle of the month, but they only post at the beginning of the month. So I just had to deal with that. Here's my optometrist. I will likely charge this and then pay for it. Just just because I sometimes I like to do that when it's a large expense. This is the jersey that I purchased and I put it on the charge card, but I've gone ahead and paid that in addition to a gifting charge. I purchased a gift for my son and I used the charge card. But I've already gone ahead and processed a transfer over from my checking account to my credit card, so that doesn't add to the balance any. Um, so this is a little bit heavier than normal. I wouldn't normally have this. I would not normally have this, and I would not normally have this. The good news is that um, I typically have a Chewy. Oh, I better go ahead and cancel that. Hold on. Okay. I have gone in and canceled that while I was thinking of it because I would totally forget to skip that particular Chewy order, which is supposed to be coming in next weekend. I haven't even opened one of the bags of cat food, and I still have 2 bags of treats. So it is Chewy I'm skipping for this week, but I do need to get some wet food for them, so I've put that on. I've just kind of shuffled things around for the pet care. Um, again, healthcare is going to be more because I'm accounting for an extra prescription and for a optometrist visit. Personal care, that's that. Yeah. I stepped away for a second and now I can't even remember where I stopped. I don't think I'm going to spend $250 on gifting this year. What Matt picked out was about $35 less than what I had budgeted for. So you know, I don't expect Rachel to do the same. She will typically spend what she has to spend, but we're going to go shoe shopping for her, and I probably won't charge her. So it'll depend on what my um, checking account looks like when we go there. And then this is an automated, I always put it into healthcare, or at least for now, that's what I do. And then, of course, I'm putting the 502 that would normally go in to and this is where I had to do a little bit of playing because I knew what my expenses were coming up. Hold on, I've got to pause again. One of my cats, Corbin Dallas, was climbing on the curtains, so in order to not have to buy new curtains, I thought I would better go fix that. um, so what I would normally be doing here at the start of April is I would be putting the last $502 into a sinking funds for my vacation rental. What I decided to do instead was because I know that I have this paycheck and another paycheck coming up before the rental balance is due, I would defer that sinking fund payment to the vacation rental fund until the next paycheck and then use this to completely fund my healthcare sinking fund so that I don't have to worry about how much my glasses cost. Because putting this $500 into that sinking fund brings it up to about $800. And I think that's more than enough to purchase two pair of glasses. So that's how I did this. I did a lot of finagling to try and get this to work. And you'll see in a minute what I had originally done and how I adjusted. So, and then of course I will pay something by the 10th, which is when the credit card cycle rolls over. What I'll try and do, if I charge anything, I will move it over right away. And again, that's so that the debt on the card is all that old debt from the basement flooding issue that I had to mitigate. Uh, so that would be the only debt on that card. All right, here is the plan for the sinking funds. I'm going to pull out $75 for the gift giving, and then the health card is going to be 552, and that brings up that balance to 854. Okay, so this is where I was trying to do one thing and I realized I was overcomplicating things and I was making it harder on myself to actually pay for the things I needed to do in the month. So I did a little bit of restructuring here after the fact. I expect a payroll and then I will be pulling the money from the um, travel sinking funds to pay for the remainder of that house. That'll come out of savings. So I'll have a little bit more than I typically do for my income. The season tickets, these will run until October. Everything else is pretty much the same until we get to the beach rental, and I'm counting this as a fixed expense or a bill because I've agreed to pay this. I know it's coming, and this is where I thought it should most likely live. So that really, it's a lot, but it's covered. I've been saving for this, so I knew it was coming, and this is the joy of having fully funded sinking funds because when the bill comes due, I'm not now scrambling to figure out what to do. This will happen on the 25th. This will happen on, I think, the 15th is when I get paid. So I'll move over the last little bit that I need to fully fund this on or around, I think it's the 15th. Okay, so that fully funds it. And originally what I had done, I had fully funded it here, the travel. But then I was like, well, what am I going to do about my glasses? Because I'm pretty sure that $300 isn't going to cover my glasses. And that's where I started thinking, well, if I'm able to put money into all of these other sinking funds, which is eventually going to happen, probably next month, I'll be able to, this $500 per pay period that I've been putting towards travel what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute it through the sinking funds that I know are coming soon. I'm not going to remove it from my budget. I'm just going to reallocate it. And I think they call this something. I don't know whether it's the snowball or I don't know what they call it. But it's just saying, okay, I've already allocated this money to put into my sinking funds. I've finished this one sinking fund that I've been focusing on, but I still have that money that's allocated for that general purpose, and I'm moving it to these other things that are roughly within the same category. I don't know what it's called. I want to say it's snowball, but I don't think it is. It's something else. Um, but anyway, that's what I'm going to do probably next month, and what I was trying to do this month when I realized I was kind of making a mistake by thinking that I had fully funded the things that I needed for this month, and I had not. Food, entertainment, these are going to be very basic. I don't have really anything coming up that is a variable expense. I expect I'll probably spend some money in these categories, but if they are, they're going to be like those one-offs like, oh, I've decided I want another jersey. Yes, because like the six that are already in my closet are not enough. Anyway, um, personal care, I probably will have to do something there, and I don't anticipate having any health care at the toward blah. I don't anticipate having any healthcare expenses towards the end, but healthcare has been creeping up on me here lately, and let's just expect anything. So that's how I'm going to approach that. So this actually, the end of this month is looking pretty good, and I'm thinking I'm going to be able to put a reasonable amount here towards the U.S. bank statement, and I'll show you why here in a second because I use another tool to help me kind of see what the whole month is going to look like. So here I'm thinking, look, there's not going to be very much left as I've been looking at this. It's like $66. So as far as how much I can put towards that by mid-March is not going to be very much. So it may be $100. I don't know. But here I think it's going to be greater. And then here's where I'm saying what I'm going to be doing. Again, originally I was just going to kind of distribute that, but I thought better of that. So we'll just see how all this planned business goes when reality hits. Yeah, I've already done some stuff this month, so I have put that in here. I'm gonna say it again. Canva, I'm just, I can't say enough praise about how they handled this whole business with me accidentally subscribing for a whole year for $120 and how quickly they responded that they would give me a refund. That just, as far as a business plan, our business whatever. As far as being a business and having that attitude goes, that's pretty amazing. And then these are the charges. Yeah, I got the gifts, but I've already paid for these, so they didn't increase the balance anything so far. And I did transfer. I've transferred that out because I paid for that charge there. I don't have my credit card statement yet. I will put that information in here when it comes in. All right, so this is how I know I'm going to have a little bit more left over to put towards debt at the end of the month because this is me looking at my full month. And last month, I don't know if you were here and if you saw this, and this is sort of the same thing. Doing these two things, these two different ways, they're basically giving me the same information. It's just looking at it in a little bit different way. I opted not to do it this way this month because I got the answer I needed from filling this part out. But this is basically just put everything for the month down and all the expenses, everything that I expect to put into sinking funds and see how much I might be able to have at the end of the month for debt. And this basically answers that question as well. So, it's just what's budgeted for the month, what I expect to pay. And I did adjust it for the pet care. I also adjusted it for my personal expenses because I already had $50 keyed for a monthly budget. So I was over $60. So I adjusted that. And I just, tried to adjust it to make it as realistic as possible. How much I think I might do in debt, but it's going to be kind of even itself out because, uh, yeah, well, just because if I charge something, I'm going to pay for it right away. So. Let's see, the inflow based on the two paychecks, how much I'm going to pull from saving, I'm guessing around $8,000. And then if if all of that comes true, I should have around $1,400 left. Of course, I don't expect all of this to become reality. Oh, and by the way, I've noticed my utilities, they are creeping up pretty significantly over the last 6 months or so. Particularly my electric bill has just been, it just has been going up a lot every single month. So I have adjusted from a $600 max monthly budget for utilities to 640. And so far this year, that's as much as I've paid in 1 month for utilities. Of course, it will go down now that things have started to warm up because I won't be paying my gas bill. That just, it'll be minimal. But what this should, to me, this is always going to be this monthly budget. What is the max that I should be spending for this particular category? If there's something left over, that's great, but I want to account for how much I might have to spend in the most expensive month. And I do plan to adjust some of these things. Like gifting won't always be $250. I'm only going to put a budgeted amount when I have a birthday that month. And it'll be appropriate for this one. There's two birthdays this month, and they're both my children. So I will typically spend more money on my children than I will on other people, so I'll budget a little bit more. But other things like Koma creates, I will probably plan for those purchases, and I will have several coming up within this year probably, just to get some things that are going to help the setup here. And I'm a techie. I'm a little bit of a nerd and a geek, and um, I'm a computer scientist, so getting all that stuff is sort of like a hobby. I wouldn't necessarily call it a business decision because a decision would be what's your bottom line. No, I'm going to do it because it's going to be fun to buy these things and try and get them set up. Have to call my son and say, "Can you help me figure out why this is not working the way it's supposed to work?" Um, but yeah, that if I do purchase something for the channel, it's just going to be because it's going to be fun to do. So yeah, that's why I think I'm going to be able to have additional amounts going into my debt paid because of this little worksheet. And I've just got my monthly meal plan, which I have penciled in, and this is where I post my expenses for like when I go out to eat, or if I um, go to the grocery store, I'll just jot them down here just to kind of keep track of them in one place. Sometimes I write down what I'm going to make. Like this Tuesday, I know I'm going to make, it's not burrito tacos, it's some type of tostada. My daughter for my birthday, tostada. My daughter for my birthday bought me these really cool looking things. Hold on, I'm going to actually go grab them. Okay, so it came in this little container. Let me show you what the container looked like because it's pretty cool. I'm making all kinds of noise. It's probably really annoying in the video. So it came in this thing, Easy Bombs. I'm like, what? Is this like a bath thing or something? But it's food because, I like food. And for Tuesday, I want to make these Tinga Bombs. So it's authentic Mexican tinga, or is it tinja? I don't know how to say that, but I'll say it with my accent. So I'm going to go to, I guess, Aldi and pick up some chicken thighs and throw these in the, I'll probably add it to the, I've got an instant pot, but it's not, yeah, I'll probably put it in the instant pot, 3 pounds of chicken. So I'll have to let you guys know. I'm going to put it over a tostada. I'm going to grab some, uh, it says you layer it. Let's see how it says. It says add a tinga. Um, there we go. So shred the chicken and then layer on refried beans, tinga, lettuce, sour cream, and queso fresco. So I am going to give that a try. This just looks really good. The other one she had, um, it's a, I think, pozole bomb. And this is a soup with hominy and chicken, so, or pork. I'll probably do chicken. It says pork, meat, and hominy. Okay. Um, so this looks really yummy. And then the other one is a burrito bomb. And I've made burrito tacos before. Sam, the cooking guy, he has a channel. He is a little crass, so if you actually go find him, just know he's going to talk about um, things that may be sensitive to you. So just go in with an open mind. But his cooking is phenomenal. So I made burrito tacos using his recipe. So I'm curious how this is going to go. And I'll probably use beef for this one. So I thought these were kind of cool. That was off topic just here for a minute, but it was sort of on topic since we're talking about the monthly meal plan. So what I'll probably do is use these bombs maybe every Tuesday, and just have a Mexican Tuesday night. But I'm definitely going to try the tostadas on Tuesday, but I'll have to get to Aldi's before I do it. And then the last part of my April setup. Oh, this one's been going to be a long one. Sorry, guys. Um, this is where I track how much of my, oh, and I haven't adjusted. Did I adjust this? I didn't adjust it. Yeah. This is where I track. So if I have a budgeted amount and I have two different pay periods, um, pay day to expenses. If I have two periods that I have purchases on, what part of my budget did I spend during the first paycheck where my money is, and which one, how much did I spend on them? This just helps me keep track as things go along. And then here is also where I add notes to myself about the adjustments that need to be made for the following month. So, and that is it for April. I think it's all going to go just fine, so long as I don't buy another jersey or something equally irresponsible. But again, I'm not having buyer's remorse. I just, sometimes I have to laugh at myself because, I'm sitting here, I do all this budget stuff, and I tell myself, you're doing great, keep up with that, paying off that debt. And, when I see how much they're charging me in interest, it just makes me just fume. And despite all that, I still spend $110 I don't need to. So, you know. Anyway, well, the next video will be probably on probably on the 5th. Yeah, I'll say it's going to be on the 5th, but it may be late on the 5th, or it could be on the 6th, depending on what Rachel and I do for her birthday and when we get the shoes, because I don't know when she's going to have time to go shopping with me. If she goes shopping with me, I'll probably take her out to eat as well. So the next video is going to be next weekend. I just don't know when, and it'll be just a check-in for the week. And that about covers it, so I'll talk to you then.